Rockeyez would like to welcome George Becker, Jaded Past, man. Hey, what's going on? What's up?
How you doing, Brian?
Great, great. Recently I was talking to Andrew McNeice of Melodicrock Records at melodicrock.com, and, we're good friends and stuff like that, and he said, why don't you contact George Becker with the new album, Believe? I said, Dad, no problem. I said, George is a friend, and, I'm always here to help out any way I can, so here we are. Tell me a little bit about how you got signed to Melodicrock Records.
Well, I was recording the record independently with Steve Brown from Trickster, my producer, and as we got halfway through, we started talking about avenues to shop it around with and try to get moving on some type of deal.
Right.
So we went through a number of labels, small labels, and the best deal that came through was from Andrew, a great guy all around, and he worked with me on so many things as far as getting the whole project packaged and ready to go. So
right.
I decided to go with him. And, he also has a P.J. Farley, which signed nearly the same time as me, so, and he's a friend. So, everybody talks very highly of Andrew, so that's where it came from.
Right. Now, you've been, playing the New Jersey area, New York, since the 80s.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. Everybody has to, work their way up and stuff like that. Do you figure, back in the day compared to now, it's a lot easier to make an impact? Or, before you had to mail everything by snail mail,
right.
A cassette, some flyers and junk like that. With the internet and stuff like that, is it a little bit easier to get signed?
Well, I don't know if it's easier to get signed, but it's easier to get your stuff noticed.
Right.
I mean, a couple of YouTube videos. I mean, there's major stars right now that were discovered on YouTube.
Right.
You know what I mean? But as far as I go, back in the day, it was a lot different. There were huge record companies, so trying to get your foot in the door was a massive process, which I did okay back in the 80s. It just didn't click. But now I have so many friends that I developed from that time that I can give a phone call, give an email, and post some stuff on Facebook and all the other social media, which draws attention to my music. So that's where it becomes easier, because people just click on and they notice it right away.
Right.
So it's easier, but it's also overloaded too, with everybody playing in bands and trying to get there, doing their thing. So it's 50 to one, 50 to the other. So it's easier to get noticed, but it's also overloaded with population,
Oh, definitely. Like I was talking before the interview, I get maybe 300 emails a day, and people contacting me, did you get my email? Exactly
right.
what you're talking about,
Exactly.
You can't get to them all,
Right.
It's not great for me to say, no, I don't even know you, and I don't remember your email. I can't look at them all. So,
right.
Back when you did Wicked Sin, the music was a lot different and stuff like that, the hair metal and hair rock, whatever you want to call it. When you were back in that time, all that energy and stuff like that, you'd figure you'd slow down a little bit.
No, you know what? Sometimes it's just there. It's in your blood. I mean, I live and breathe this stuff.
Right.
And luckily for me, over the past 10 years, I've been able to play music for a living, and that's a big support group, that I have through family and friends, and that to me also feeds into my energy, because I have the opportunity to play music acoustic solo. I do a couple of cover bands, and I also put all my energy into Jaded Past, which makes it very it's easy to feed off the energy,
Right.
And you have to work a day job 10 hours a day. and then play the music at nighttime, it makes it very difficult.
Right.
You know, it's easy to give up. You know.
Right. Now during the day, is it all networking?
Well, I run my own management, so I do all the administrative work for all my gigs, whether it be solo, cover bands, Jaded Past, tour dates. I route my own tours, tour dates. I write my own music, so it's like during the day is everything that doesn't entail performing.
Right. Wow.
I go from 7 a.m. to 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Music,
That's
you know.
Long hours.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you love what you do, it's not work. So.
Right. Yeah. Now you also do acoustic shows. Which do you prefer? You know.
Well, Jaded Past is my passion.
Right.
My writing, because when I do acoustic shows, I also I do some Jaded Past stuff, acoustic,
right.
But I also do mostly covers. You know, it pays the bills, and I enjoy it too because it's laid back. I play a lot of pubs and restaurants and stuff like that. So it's an easier gig, but not as fulfilling as being up on stage with Jaded Past.
Right. Yeah. And I know what Steve Brown from Trickster. He plays a lot of acoustic shows too, right up here at the Firehouse Pub. You know.
Right.
So I guess you know, it's a day out plus you know, keep your chops in line. You know?
Oh, definitely. I've become since I started the acoustic solo thing about 5 years ago, like on a full-time basis, and since I've done that, my singing voice has improved greatly because, you know, it's what you do. Practice, you know, practice and practice. So
right.
It makes you a better performer.
Okay, now the new Disbelieve, I think there's 10 tracks on the album?
There is.
Yeah. Is there any particular one that really has a place in your heart? I know everybody says everyone, but is there a particular one?
Well, I'm going to say the same thing. They all do because they all have a different meaning to me. You
right.
know? When I write songs, particularly for me, but I write them so that anybody can take those songs and it means something different when they read the lyrics or sing along, you know. There's songs, you know, I also have 4 remasters on there that were originally on my first record, but since we got signed, Steve and myself, we remastered them, did a couple of changes to them, and then put them on Believe also because we didn't want the good songs from the first record to fall through the cracks and not be noticed anymore, you know, because this is my actual first signed label, you know. Right. The other record was on an independent, so that I put out myself.
Right. Yeah.
So, being that said, there's a song about my one of my daughters. There's a song about my girlfriend. There's a song about childhood friends. So, I am going to say every song because they all mean something to me.
Right. So, right. How about Dashboard Jesus?
Dashboard Jesus, I started writing that song, believe it or not, 3 years ago when I made my first trip to Nashville.
Right.
And I just fell in love with Nashville and the whole feel. So I started putting together this country crossover song, you know.
Right.
And then I had it written on acoustic guitar. I brought it to Steve Brown, and we went over it, and he's like, don't change a thing. We'll just add some pedal steel and some harmonica. So I brought in this great harp player, Ed Masterson, that actually plays some of the shows with Jaded Past, just for that one song, Dashboard Jesus, and that's where it came from. I just felt it like that, you know, just about driving down the road, just thinking about everything, you know. Of course, praying to your Dashboard Jesus, you know.
Right. Now, you're going to start touring and stuff like that. I noticed, I think, a date in Tennessee, right?
Yes.
Right, yeah. So you're really branching out to different states and stuff like that.
Without a doubt. In November, we got a really short run. We're doing one show in Queens, New York, on November 3rd. And then we're going to, on the 11th, 12th, and 13th, we're going to head down south a little bit. We got a Baltimore show, I believe a Virginia show, and then we hit Nashville on November 13th. It's a very short run, but it's just a test pattern for this tour.
Right.
And then 2017, we're going to break open with. We're going to hit little regions. We're going to do the New England. We're going to do the Great Lakes, Midwest, down south, West Coast. We're going to do the whole thing.
Right. Now, where can people? Go ahead.
We're just going to hope that it works.
Good. Where can people pick up the disc?
Okay. You can go on Melodicrock Records website. That internationally, especially, I've been selling a lot overseas. We've been selling a lot overseas with Melodicrock website. You could also go on jadedpass.com and buy it direct from Jaded Pass. iTunes it's up on iTunes now. It's on Amazon. It's on all of those internet download places where you can get it. Spotify, Pandora, all of that. And that's about it. I mean, if you just Google it, it's there. But,
right.
You want to just hit jadedpass.com, everything's right there. Merch, CDs, our tour dates, pictures.
Oh, cool. Is there anything I missed that you'd like to talk about?
I'm going to tell you what. I'm really concerned. I really want to get some people out to the shows, so that's what it is. We're trying to. Andrew is trying to push for some radio press and getting some airplay here and there, starting with internet radio and then college stations and then hopefully commercial radio. Right. I know it's a long journey, especially for Andrew. It's really tough because the commercial radio scene is just is really rough. Right. So we're going to start short and try to go long, But I have, like I said, November 3rd, New York City, Queens, Blackthorn 51. We're headlining a show there with some of our friends, and there's some surprise guests coming up with me, and I hope that's the kickoff show for this new Believe record.
Cool.
And I really feel that this record is a good album, and that it's just good, feel-good rock and roll.
Right. Do you happen to read reviews?
I do.
Yeah.
Are you going to get a good one?
I was just wondering, what goes through your mind before you actually open up the review?
I don't take it too much to heart.
Right.
I mean, I've got to say that almost every review that I've ever read, the words Bon Jovi and Bret Michaels come out of it.
Right.
I take that as a compliment in every way that people say that I resemble those two vocalists. I don't take it in a bad way at all because they're very successful, and and it is a big influence on me,
right.
Along with Kid Rock and just that whole feel-good rock and roll. That's all the whole Aerosmith to Bon Jovi to Poison to Def Leppard. I just love all of that stuff. So I hope it comes through as an influence,
Cool. Well, congratulations on Believe, George Becker, Melodicrock Records. Check Jaded Pass out. Would you like to say anything to fans in conclusion?
My last thing is just go to the website as often as you like. Everything changes on a weekly basis as far as, new photos. We put up new photos after every gig. We have new merchandise almost monthly. We have new gigs, new tour dates that go up there on a weekly basis because we're working with a lot of different booking agents and management companies where we're trying to get into these new venues. So just come out to the shows. That's all I'm saying. You will not be sorry. Come out to the shows. My lineup is awesome, and you'll just love the show.
Thanks a lot, George. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Talk to you later, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.